Welcome back, student. Today I'm going to explain the topic covalent bond, that is also called molecular bond. So in this video we'll try to understand how covalent bond form, what is the condition, what is the nature of the compound, what is the property of covalent compound. We are going to get answers of these questions. So first we will try to know how this bond form. This bond I mean I'm talking about covalent bond. This is also called molecular bond. This bond is formed by sharing of one pair, two pair, or more than two pair of electrons between two combining atoms in a compound or in a molecule. Once again, covalent bond is formed by transfer of pair of electrons. Must underline this line. Pair of electrons between two combining atoms in a molecule. That is called covalent bond or molecular bond. What are the conditions for the formation of covalent bond? You must remember, this bond is formed between non-metals, including hydrogen. Hydrogen can also form covalent bond. In spite it is a losing electron, as we know that hydrogen place is not fixed. It possesses properties like metal as well as like non-metal halogen families. So as I said that this type of bond formed between non-metals. How it is formed? By sharing of pair of electrons. If electron pair is shared, suppose atoms in a molecule share one pair of electron, that is called single covalent bond. What I said that if atoms shared one pair of electron, the bond is said to be single covalent bond, and single covalent bond is denoted by single dash. Similarly, the second is a bond is formed by sharing of two pair of electrons between two combining atoms in a molecule. That is called double covalent bond, and it is denoted by double dash. And third is a bond is formed by sharing of three pair of electrons between two combining atoms in a molecule. That is called triple covalent bond, and it is denoted by triple covalent bond. Right? So must remember, if we're sharing one pair of electron between two atoms in a molecule, that is called single covalent bond. If two, then double covalent bond. If sharing three pair of electrons, they will form triple covalent bond. Now I'm going to explain one by one by taking some examples. So first is single covalent bond. What will be the definition? Definition will be a bond which is formed by sharing of one pair of electrons between molecule in a compound is known as single covalent bond. Examples are hydrogen, Cl2, chlorine, water, ammonia, hydrogen fluoride, hydrogen chloride. There are many more examples, etc. In these compounds, what type of bond will form? Single covalent bond. I am going to explain two examples from here how covalent bond is forming. First, I am taking hydrogen. H. As we know that hydrogen atomic number is 1, so its valence electron is 1, right? We'll write Lewis dot structure as I explained in the previous video what is Lewis dot structure and how it is expressed. So hydrogen valence electron is 1, we'll write 1. This hydrogen also valence electron is 1, we'll write here in cross 1. They are sharing one pair of electron. Why? As we know that hydrogen wants to achieve duplet structure. I have told in the previous video that every atom wants to achieve octet structure or duplet structure. Duplet structure means 2 electrons in the outermost shell, and octet structure means 8 electrons in the outermost shell. And hydrogen wants to achieve duplet structure. It can't lose. If it will lose, suppose question can come, it can lose. It has possibility to lose electron. But if it can lose electron, it becomes 0. Is it stable? No, it is not stable. Another, after this, suppose this hydrogen is losing 1 electron and giving to this hydrogen becomes stable. But this hydrogen is having 0 electron, so it is unstable. It means transfer of electron is not possible. As I said in the condition that the covalent bond is formed always between non-metal, including hydrogen. So here, what they will do? Both need 1 electrons to complete duplet structure. So both will share 1 electron to each atom. So you can write, there are many formats to express the sharing of electron. Simply, you can make a box. Yeah, or you can also write the same thing like this, H, here write dot, here cross, you can write this way also. This is also right. And as you saw in both the condition, they are sharing 1 pair of electron. And as I said in the definition of the single covalent bond, if they shared 1 pair of electron, they are denoted by single covalent bond, single dash. It means here will be HH linked with a dash. It means you can say that this dash, the single dash, having how many electrons? 2 electrons. This bond is called single covalent bond. Right? You can also draw the orbital structure as I have explained in the previous video of electrovalent bond. You can draw the orbital structure for hydrogen molecule to show covalent bond, single covalent bond. So as you can see that hydrogen is having 1 orbit only because it has 1 electron. We'll write here in cross. At the center there is a nucleus, and similarly at the same time we'll draw another orbit for orbital structure for another hydrogen. It has also how many electrons? It has also 1 electron in outermost shell. So they will share 1 pair of electron. You can also draw like this. Here write H and here write H. Or you can also draw like this. Single. You can Can make here box, here right dot, here right cross. This is also right. Both is correct. You can write here dot and cross. Here is nucleus, here is nucleus. So this is the molecular structure of hydrogen, right? So you can draw, you can see that in this molecule there is single covalent bond. Now I'm going to take another example, and that will be little difficult. I'm taking a little difficult example, and that is I'm taking here water. One thing you try to know that if a molecule is having more than two different atoms, like here one is oxygen, one is hydrogen, so always the atom which possesses highest electronegativity, that atom will be central atom, right? So here if you have learned electronegativity, then you can say that oxygen is having highest electronegativity in this compound, because hydrogen is having lowest. It means oxygen will be the central atom at the center, and both the side which atom will be H and here H. Now write the valence electron for each atom. As we know that hydrogen valence electron is 1, and this is also having 1. I'm writing a little closer to the atom, so easily we can show the box. And then as we know that oxygen is having valence electron, how many? So atomic number is 8. Its valence electron is 2 and 6. So how many need electrons? To complete octet structure means it need 2 electrons. So what it will do? It will share 2 electrons, right? And it can't share 2 electrons with one hydrogen atom, because hydrogen can only share 1 electron. Must remember, both will share equal pair of electron. Equal. If I am giving 1 to you, you will also give 1 to me. If I am sharing 1 with you, you also share 1 with me. Not like that, but I'm giving you 2 and I'm sharing with 2 electrons with you, and you will share only 1 with me. This is injustice. Means both will share same number of electrons. It means if it is sharing, it can share 1 electrons with the other atom. Its other atom can also share only 1 electron. And as I saw that oxygen can share 2 electrons, it means oxygen share 1 electron with this hydrogen and another electron with this hydrogen. Not like that, both the electrons of hydrogen will be shared with only 1 hydrogen. That is wrong. It means you draw, it is sharing how many electrons? 2 electrons. One with this hydrogen, so we'll write 1 cross here, another with this hydrogen, write cross here, near to closer. Both electrons will be closer, so easily can make the bond. Now, still, how many electrons are left to write? We have written 2, means 4 are written. And as I have told you that the electron always should be in pair. Right here, cross, and here, cross. And so here, a box. You can see that here 1 pair of electrons are shared, here 1 pair of electrons are shared. If 1 pair of electrons are shared, means denoted by single dash. So draw the final structure. You can write HOH, and here is electrons are left, right? These electrons are called, which are not taken part in the bonding. This is how many electrons are here? 2. Both the electrons are taken part in the bonding. Means these electrons are called bonding electrons. If the electrons are not taking part in bonding in a molecule, that electron is called lone pair of electron. Must remember this term, lone pair of electron. So question can come, what is lone pair of electron? So what will be the definition? The pair of electron of an atom in a molecule which do not take part in chemical bonding is known as lone pair of electron. Once again, the pair of electron of an atom in a molecule which do not take part in chemical bonding, that is known as lone pair of electron. And what is bond pair? The pair of electron which takes part, the pair of electron of an atom in a molecule which takes part in bonding is known as bond pair electron. So question can come, what is bond pair of electron and what is lone pair of electron? Right? So understood what is single covalent bond. There are more examples given in your book, that is methane formula is CH4. Given carbon tetrachloride CCl4, that you have to practice how I have explained here. The same way you have to practice the bonding. If in the question asked draw the orbital structure to show the bonding, you have to draw what I have explained. Just I have removed here. If not asked, you have to do like this. Okay, now we are going to the next segment, and that is double covalent bond. And double covalent bond is denoted by double dash. Definition: the bond which is formed by sharing of two pair of electrons between two combining atoms in a molecule is known as double covalent bond. Examples. Very few examples are given in your syllabus. That is given oxygen, and one more is given C2H4. Its name is ethene. More are, but it is not given in your syllabus. So I am going to explain only one example. Oxygen, right, side by side, both atoms are together, same. So write side by side. No need to select here central atom. What I said, central atom means number of atoms are more than 2. But here number of atoms are only 2. So there is no chance to select central atom because both will be side by side. Now again you try to understand how many pair of electrons they need, or how many electrons they need in their outermost cell. As we know that oxygen atomic number is 8, its configuration is 2 and 6. So become stable, it needs 2 electrons in its outermost cell. It means you can say that both the oxygen atoms require 2 electrons in their outermost cell to become stable. It means they will share 2 pair of electrons, right? So whatever electrons they are going to share, will write at front. So I'm writing here, it is going to share 2 electrons. So we'll write here. How many total electrons? Valence electron? 6. So I have not written all the 6. So we have to write it in pair. Cross, cross. So written 6 electron. The same way you can write this oxygen also need 2 electrons. It means it will share 2 pair of electrons. So we'll write here 2, 1 is written dot, write another in cross, or another in cross, 1 is dot. Always write in opposite. So more 4 electrons are left to write. We'll write here dot, dot. Must remember that electrons should be written in pair if there is possibility. Now they are going to share 2 pair of electrons, so make here box. You can see here they are sharing 2 pair of electrons. It means there must be double covalent bond between oxygen atom. So you can say there will be double bond, right? So similarly, you can write for ethene, you can draw bonding for ethene. Now we are going to the next topic, and that is triple covalent bond. Triple covalent bond, what will be the definition? Same definition. If the bond is formed by sharing of 3 pair of electrons between combining atoms in a molecule, that is called triple covalent bond, and it is denoted by triple dash. Examples: is nitrogen, N2. More example is C2H2. Its name is ethine. I'm going to explain only one example. N2. Two nitrogens are there. As we know, nitrogen atomic number is 7. Its configuration is 2 and 5. Now you can easily recognize that this nitrogen needs 3 electrons to become stable. It means it will share 3 electrons. It can't lose. It can't lose. It can only share because it is non-metal. And as we know that non-metal or covalent bond forms by sharing of electron, not by losing or not by gaining. You must remember this condition. Covalent bond is always forms between non-metals by sharing of pair of electrons. Now here you can say that both nitrogen will share 3 electrons. So we'll write 3 just front of each atoms, but you must remember you have to mention all the valence electron. Only you write at the front how many electrons they are going to share. They are going to share 3 electrons. So we have written here 3 and it has 5 electrons. So 2 electrons are left to write. We'll write here, you write here, you write here. There are so many options, you can write anywhere. Now same way it is also going to share 3 electrons, so we'll write here in dot and 2 electrons we'll write there. They're going to share 3 pair of electrons. It means there will be triple covalent bond. Here is triple covalent bond. In the same way you practice other example, whatever given in your book. Now we'll try to know, as I said that in the previous conversation of this video, that question is why bond is formed and how bond is formed and what is the property of the compound. So this compound is called covalent compound because the bond is formed covalent bond. So this compound is called covalent bond, covalent compound. Question can come like show bonding, or question can come how many triple bonds are present in nitrogen, or how many bonds present in nitrogen triple covalent bond. Like other question can come, what is lone pair of electron, what is bond pair of electron, and more questions like this. Covalent compound exist in liquid as well as gaseous form. Why? So what will be the answer? Answer is, as you saw here, there is no ions. You can see that there are no ions, so that's why it is called a molecular bond. It is in the molecule form. So there is no ion in this compound. This is why the bond is weak, or you can say that a molecular bond is weak bond, or you can also say that reason because there is no ion, and because lack of ion the force of attraction is very less, and because of that covalent compound exists in liquid state or gaseous state. This question can come. Second question can come is covalent compound conduct electricity or not. As you know that there are no ions in covalent compound, so will not conduct electricity, right? So you can simply you can write there is no mobile ion, no free ions, lack of ions. This is why covalent compound will not conduct electricity. Next question can come, is having high melting point or low melting point. Very simple answer, weak force of attraction, there is no ions, so surely the boiling point and melting point will be very low. And many more questions can arise from here by taking some name of the compound, like you can say that nitrogen is a gas form Y, like that. One more thing in this topic I want to explain, that is also given in your book, is what is polar covalent compound. It's very important. we'll try to understand what is polar covalent. We have studied single covalent bond, double covalent bond, triple covalent bond, but we are going to study now. I'm going to deal what is polar covalent compound and non-polar covalent compound, right? So let's see. Covalent compound is categorized into two. The first is non-polar and second is polar covalent compound. Non-polar, as we know, we are talking about pole, means south pole, now north pole, or you can say positive pole and negative pole. Non-polar means there is no pole, there is no chance to have positive and negative charge. It means that compound is called non-polar compound. Non-polar compound examples are, I'm writing few examples: H2, Cl2, then I2, CH4, N2, O2, CCl4, then you can write C2H4, etc. These are non-polar. Why it is called non-polar? Because they doesn't have any ions. One more answer you can say here: if you suppose you draw the bonding of hydrogen molecule, we have studied in chapter 1 electronegativity. The electronegativity of hydrogen is 2.1 and this hydrogen is 2.1. The difference is 0. The electronegativity difference is 0. If electronegativity difference is 0, it means that compound is non-polar compound. If you find here all have electronegativity difference 0 or very, very low, it means that compound is non-polar. Now we'll move to the next polar covalent compound. Just opposite means there must be some pole, that is positive pole or negative, positive pole, negative pole, or south pole or north pole. We are not talking about here geography part topic. We are talking about chemistry, so we'll use your positive and negative sign, because compound having positive or negative charges. Now example we'll see here. Examples will be HF, HCl, NH3. I only take only 3, given your book only 3, NH3 and H2O. These are called polar covalent compound. Why? I'm going to explain here. In the previous video I have explained the bonding of H2O, so I'm going to explain here HF. According to the condition, you can say that both are non-metal, exception is hydrogen. So what type of bond will form? Surely covalent bond. So we'll write here H and F side by side. Hydrogen valence electron is 1 and nitrogen valence electron will be 7, because its atomic number is 9, 2 and 7. So how many electrons it will share? 1. So we'll write here front 1 and rest will be around the fluorine. They will share 1 pair of electron. Okay, it means they will form single covalent bond. If you know the values of electronegativity of fluorine from the chapter 1, then easily you can write, as we know hydrogen is 2.1 and fluorine electronegativity is 4.0. So what will be the difference here? You see the difference, 4.0 minus 2.1, it will be 9 and 1.9. So according to the condition, its electronegativity is not 0 or not very low, it's a very high value difference. It means there will be pole, positive pole and negative pole. And as we know that if an atom possesses high electronegativity, then tendency to have attract the bond pair electron. This is called bond pair of electron. Actually, you can see that fluorine is having high electronegativity, so fluorine will attract the shared pair of electron towards itself. Means whatever electrons are here will go towards fluorine. It means fluorine is gaining electron. and hydrogen is losing electron. And as we know that if an atom lose electron or gain electron, they carry charge. So hydrogen is losing here, so hydrogen will carry slight positive charge, and fluorine is gaining electron, so fluorine will carry slight negative charge. So you can see that because of the difference, electronegativity difference, their charges arise, and this is why these compounds are called polar covalent compound. Now again question can come, polar covalent compound conduct electricity or not? Yes, they can conduct because they have ions. If ions, they will possess or they conduct electricity. But one more question you should know, that if a compound is in gaseous state, like ammonia exists in gas state, if it is in gaseous state, it will not conduct electricity. It will only conduct electricity in aqueous state. Must remember, right? So many questions can arise from this topic, from polar covalent compound. So I'm going to end this lesson here. You practice bonding, whatever examples I have written here or whatever is given in your book, as well as you solve exercise questions based on the topic covalent bond. In very soon I'm going to upload another video for the topic, third type of bonding, that is coordinate bond. Thank you.